September 22nd started out like most days. Woke up, brushed my teeth, had breakfast, kissed my mom goodbye, kissed my sister on the head, got the bus to school, and after school went to church. I wish this is when the 22nd of September stopped, but it didn't. Wished I just went home, had dinner, kissed my mom and sister goodnight, and went to bed. But that didn't happen. That would never happen again.
Can you actually tell me what happened that night?
Like, what exactly do you want to know? Specifically, what you want to know?
Specifically, if you could talk me through what happened.
So, when I took my bath, my little brother started screaming. He said, JT, help me, he's trying to kill me. He threw my brother against the toilet, and then my little brother said, please, Gary, don't kill us, we're too young to die. Gary said, you know what, I loved your mama with my whole heart, and I lived her to death. And then Jer said, well, why you gotta kill us? And then Gary said, shut up, and slapped him in the stomach.
At the Polunsky unit in Livingston, Texas, there are approximately 250 men who are on death row here, people who have committed capital murder and have been scheduled for execution by juries in the state of Texas.
What I can say, which is true, is 1 minute we engage, and the next minute, then I'm in jail.
September 22nd, just a normal day. Went to school, came home from school. It was Jared who got in trouble that day. He had got suspended from school, so my mom needed someone to watch him because she had to work. And so Gary ended up staying to watch because he said that he had to meet his parole officer or something like that at the house.
What was Gary like to you?
I never had a father, and my sister had a father, and my brother had a father, and I didn't have a father. So he was like my father figure. When I passed the tax test, he would give me, ice cream and stuff. And he was a good man, and I didn't expect this.
My name is Robert Quirk, and I'm a retired Dallas Police Department homicide detective. My 10 years in homicide, I've worked hundreds of murders. This case, though, is one that I can never forget, and it's probably one of the saddest crime scenes I've ever been to.
My name is Josh Healy. Back in 2009, I was an assistant district attorney in Dallas, and the case against Gary Green was by far the worst one I have ever dealt with. So when we were investigating Gary Green and deciding whether to seek the death penalty, what we look at is his past actions, and what we were able to come up with is he had a history of violence throughout his entire adulthood, even, if I remember correctly, when he was a teenager. One of the women, Jennifer Wheeler, he choked out so hard with some shoelaces that you could see the rope burns on her neck. Her eyes were so bloodshot from the beating she took. It was pure red in each of them.
Nothing like this has ever happened before with you, has it? I mean, maybe not to this extent, obviously. I would hope not. But any similar episodes like this in the past?
When I was younger, I had stabbed my girlfriend.
And did he ever strike you or your brother?
Not with his fist, only with belt.
And would it hurt?
Yeah. Gary, his whoopings, yeah, it would hurt. And it wouldn't be just the butt. It would be however he wants to swing, that's how he swings. If it hits you in your face, you get hit in your face. That's just how it was.
And did that seem like normal to you?
That's a whooping is a whooping. So, yeah, it was kind of sort of normal, but I didn't like it not one bit.
He'd whoop them. He'd give them punishment. And once before, Jared came over, and when he came, he said, Gary broke my arm. And I said, how, when you can still use it? I mean, come on now. Well, he whooped me so hard, it felt like he broke my arm. And they would have marks on them. He wasn't too bad with Jasmine. He wasn't too bad with her. But the boys, it's like he was extra mean with them, and he was mean with Lovetta.
Gary was very abusive. They did get in many fights, hand fights. There's plenty of parts in the room where you would be like, what happened here? Like, I know one time I walked in my mom's room and the light fixture was broken where you flick the light on. And she was like, oh, nothing, I just fell. Well, love, as I write you this letter, I swear to God, you should never leave my side. If you do, I'll lose my mind. And this time it ain't like the others when I put my hands on you and told you I love you. Now this time I'll kill you and your kids too. I got some mental issues, but you love me regardless. I know these past couple years been the hardest. And to be honest, I'ma never let you go, 'cause you're mine. Girl, I possess you. Know these hands will send some chills to your spine. You think you're walking out my life right at the drop of a dime, and you crazy. Girl, you my wife and you ain't leaving till I say it, baby. No, you weren't happy, but this just a start. Remember you said until death do us part? Then you ignored me, so now that I got this broken heart, I gotta fix it. My mind been twisted since I love you to death. You know I'd rather end it, and when I'm finished killing, I ain't trying to see your honor. What's a judge? I'll follow your soul till the end of time, and hell nah.
Can you tell me what your daughter was like?
She was very friendly, outgoing, didn't meet strangers. She kind of was very trusting, loved people, real sensitive. She was in the different clubs that they had at school. After she got into college, she became the president of her sorority. And after that, after graduating from college, she joined the Eastern Star. So she was very active and very friendly and just loved by a lot of people.
Well, my mom was like my best friend. Like, we're literally born 20 years apart, born on her 20th birthday. We did everything together. So I feel like it kind of affected me a lot deeper than it would have affected most people, because it's not only did I lose my mom, but I lost my best friend and one of my only friends as well. Because as a kid, I was really awkward. I didn't like talking to people. So she was kind of the only person I had to confide in and things like that.
Because everybody say I'm her twin. Everybody say I'm just like her. Like, they say when I grow up, when I get my car, I'm gonna be jamming in the car like she do. I'm gonna be the life of the party like she is. Like, they say I'm her twin and I got her cheeks. So even though my mom's not with me, she is with me.
I think she came to get a cigarette from me that day. And she said, girl, I am finally free. I was like, huh, what's going on? And she said, girl, we're gonna go ahead and get an annulment because I realized I just really messed up, and I'm gonna go ahead and go on with my life. And, we never talked about how mean he was or the things that he did. It was like that big elephant in the room that you just didn't want to kick or touch or anything like that. But I just told her, good for you. Whatever you need me to help you with, I'm more than open to help with.
We had Jasmine with us the weekend before, and she seemed that she didn't want to go back home. I thought it was typical, because that was Jasmine. When it came time to go home, she did not want to go. She wanted to stay with me. She was a daddy baby. She was a daddy baby. And I guess I just didn't pay too close attention. And as we were getting her prepared to go home, when we got to their home, she didn't want to get out. And, when I told her, I said, I will be back next weekend. This is every weekend thing. And my wife, when we drove off, and said our goodbyes to Jasmine, she was like, baby, I'm scared something is wrong. She said, because Jasmine did not want to get out of the car. Jasmine did not want to leave, want us to leave. She said, I'm worried about something. Something is going on. I'm like, well, yeah, I just overlooked it. I'm like, that's just Jasmine. She don't want us to, to leave. She don't want to go back home, but she has school tomorrow. And probably the next day, I think, it was a Sunday when we dropped her off. And I think that Monday night is when I got the call, about 9:20.
Normally with Jasmine, when she comes over, she's happy. It's like, okay, the weekend's done, I'm ready. Okay, it's time to go home. It's kind of routine. But it seemed like more often that we got her, it was kind of like a depression kind of set in, a nervousness. And I was like, what? Is something going on? I asked Ray beforehand, but this had been noticed over previous visits, but just this time it was just kind of like, that's kind of what I remember. I remember the nerve, the shaking. Like, okay, gotta go home.
It didn't start getting strange until after church because Gary's never picked us up from church. I think he's picked us up from school like once. And so the fact that he was just sitting there smiling, picking us up from church, and we've never seen this man smile, we've never seen him laugh, anything like that. It was really weird because it was like, what was my mom doing to where she couldn't come get us? And where is my little sister? Because she's usually with my mom. My mom doesn't go anywhere without her kids.
I remember that night like it was just yesterday. But we were at church. Ever since we've been doing that, my mom was the only one to pick us up from church. The only one. Gary never picked us up from church, not one time. And all of a sudden, he picked us up from church. And he was wearing all black. When I was young, I used to think I had powers. How I am, like still now, when I feel like something's bad's finna happen, my legs start shaking. And something in my gut was saying something's not right, something's not right.
Driving home, he, asking us all these questions. How was your day? What did you learn at church? Just little things. It was really strange because he's never talked to us, never really smiled at us, done anything like that, let alone pick us up from church. So when we get to the house, he tells me that he needs to go call my mom, so he kind of parks me and my little brother in the garage. And as he walks in, he pretends to be on the phone, stands in front of the door and everything.
On this day, I thought he was on the phone. So when I pulled in to my driveway and I saw him with the garage up and the car outside the garage, I said, oh my, he has the right thing in mind. Let me put my car in the garage, because it just smelled like it was about to rain. It wasn't raining. It smelled like it was about to rain. But I'm thinking he's on the phone. I had no idea he was talking to himself. So I pull my car in, we go inside, we're eating, and no more than 20 minutes later is when those kids came over.
And so he tells me that I need to get in the shower because my mom said I was musty. And my brother needs to go ahead and get ready for bed because he has school tomorrow.
At that point, I don't know why, but something was telling me to, even though I didn't know how to drive, to get in the car and drive off. But I didn't listen to myself, and now I wish I would have. So then that's when we walked in the house, and my brother, he got his clothes, and I got my clothes. I put on my favorite Garfield shirt, and he went and he hopped in the bath.
When you first come in, it is a very middle-class residence, very appropriately furnished, very modest, very modern, very middle-class. Nice and neat and orderly. That quickly changed when we went down the hallway.
Gary was in the kitchen, and he called me to the kitchen. So I went to the kitchen. Next thing I know, his hand was over my mouth and over my nose. He turned me around, and he slid down from the counter. And he was reaching up while we was down, and at first he grabbed a butter knife and he tries to slit my neck with the butter knife, but it didn't work.
And then he tried to cut my head off, but he accidentally used the wrong side of the knife.
He used the wrong side of the knife?
Then the knife broke.
The knife broke? Did the knife touch you?
Yes, that's why I got all these scars on my neck.
That's why you got all those scars on your neck. Okay.
Then he grabbed another knife, and that's when he tried to, and then that's when he tried to stab me. But I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't even know how it happened. He didn't hit nothing hard, but the knife had broke.
Okay, how come the first knife broke?
Cause God broke it for me so I could stay alive.
Okay. Did he do anything else to you while in the kitchen besides this on your neck? Did he do anything else?
Yeah, he stabbed me.
Where did he stab you at? It's okay. You can see.
Right there.
Right there? That in the belly? Yeah.
And then he reached back and he got another knife. And that one, he had stabbed me. And then that's when I was able to, while he was trying to get the knife and stuff, I was moving his hands. I was saying, help, help, he's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me. Help, help, he's trying to kill me.
So when I took my bath, my little brother started screaming. He said, JT, help me. He's trying to kill me.
JT, he's trying to kill me. And so I walk out of the bathroom to check, what the situation is. And as I'm walking out, he's bringing my little brother into the bathroom by his collar. And he has the whole, box of knives or the cutlery of knives in his hand. And once he brings them in there, he throws them against the toilet and he just, locks the door.
Gary made me go in the restroom, and then he talked to us in the restroom, and then he threw me against the toilet and made my eye hit it.
And he had stabbed me. And that's when my brother had actually came out then. And I was like, I was holding my stomach and I was bleeding. And in my head, I was like, really, this is happening?
And he asked me a question. He asked me and my brother a question saying, why should I let y'all stay alive? And we said, because we're just kids.
I'm like, we're young. We're not going to tell nobody. I promise you, we're not going to tell nobody. Just let us live. Just let us live. And then he said, come here, I want to show y'all something.
And then after that, he tells us that he needs to show us something. And as we're walking out the first time, he tries to drill the knife into my little brother's neck. But, we step back because we're like, okay, obviously this wasn't over. And then he walks out first instead, and he was like, all right, I'm done. That's the last time I was going to do something. I got to show you something. And so he opens the door to my mom's bedroom.
When we opened the door, our mom was laying on the floor with blood all around her, all on her dresser, all on her shirt, and all on her shoes.
And that's when he opened the door, and that's when I saw my mama, and the bed was so bloody, and the floor was so bloody.
He told us to go in our mom's room, and blood was all on the floor, and blood was all on my mama's bed.
I went up to her and just laid on her, started crying. It was like, Mama, wake up, stop playing, it's not funny.
And then he said, now look in that bathroom. Her little sister had her arms taped behind her back, and there was blood all around the bathroom, and there was nothing we could do about it.
And you could see, then we looked in the restroom, you could see the tub with water and my sister lying next to the tub, and we was just crying. Me and my brother was just crying. We was yelling, Mama, Mama, Jasmine, Jasmine.
And how was she tied up?
Her legs was tied up and the tape was tied up.
Where was she at? I know she was in the bathroom, but where in the bathroom?
By the tub.
By the tub. And did Gary say anything about Mama being on the floor?
Yeah, he said, do y'all know any boy that she been texting? Cause so then he said, I had to kill her cause I loved her with he said he loved her with his heart. And so he just killed her because he didn't want her to divorce him.
He made us follow him outside when he got in the car.
My little brother chased him out the door, and he was like, Gary, why you doing this? I love you and stuff like that.
Then he got in the car and he said, when we didn't know he would do all this, he would tell us, don't say goodbye because goodbye means you're not gonna see them again. So he said, remember how I told y'all not to say goodbye? And I nodded my head, yeah. He said, well, this is a goodbye. And then he drove off.
Hello? Hello, this is Dallas. Hello? Let me speak to the other person in the background so I can understand what's going on. Let me speak to your little brother so he can tell me. Let me speak to your little brother. Okay, do you guys need police or paramedics? What's going on? Need police or paramedics? What's going on? Do you need police?
Yes. After I called the police, I had to carry my brother over to our next door neighbor's house because he got stabbed in the stomach and I didn't want to move him around too much. So as we walk this like super brief walk, it just feels like we're moving in slow motion. And that's why I think even more so everything that night felt like a dream. And when we finally got to her door, it just felt like such a burden was raised off. And, you know, we get to the door, banging, screaming.
And the way they're knocking, I run downstairs. I'm like, who is this? What's going on? So I open the door, and he said, Miss Tasha, Gary tried to kill me. And I said, come on now. I know y'all say stuff that he be doing now. Come on now. This is kind of getting out of hand. I said, now what is going on? And then JT says, he did. He killed my mama. He killed my mama. And I said, come on now. I don't know what's going on. I said, who you talking to on that phone? Give me that phone. What is going on?
Walk away and talk to me so I can know what's going on. Walk away from them, please. Okay?
I'm walking to the house now. They are saying there's a 12-year-old young man, there's an 8-year-old young man. They are saying that the husband has stabbed the mom and the daughter, and he has driven away to kill himself.
And then I get to the house and I said, oh, ma'am, there's blood on the door. It's blood on this front door, and I'm really scared to touch it. I said, I'm going to push it open. So I pushed the door open, and as I'm coming in, I see that there's blood in different areas, and I'm still walking, and I don't see anybody.
When she ran in the house, she walked in, Lovetta, Lovetta, Lovetta.
Lovetta! I don't want to touch nothing.
Don't touch nothing, okay?
I don't want to touch
inside of 3844 now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm leaving back out. She's not breathing. I'm just so purple.
Not breathing?
No, ma'am.
Who's not breathing, the mother or the 6-year-old?
The mother. I can't even find the 6-year-old. I'm scared to be in here just in case she comes back because I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, my God. These poor kids.
And when I get to the back bedroom, which is Lovetta's room, I see her laid on the floor and her whole face is purple. And she was like, y'all need to leave that house because he could still be in that house. And so we went back to my house and waited for the police to come.
Female is not breathing?
No, ma'am. She's not responding.
She can't, and you can't find
It's blood everywhere. It's blood everywhere. Oh.
And you can't find the 6-year-old?
I didn't go back in. I didn't go back in.
Do you know the husband's name?
His name is Gary Green.
And that's when the ambulance and stuff got there. While I was in the ambulance truck, I was just playing memories. Just memories after memories, good ones, bad ones, all memories, as much memories as I can get. I was just replaying them in my head.
Her blood was all on my hands. You know, her eyes wouldn't open. I couldn't just be like, you know, Mom, I'm sorry, I love you. I couldn't hear one last I love you. It wasn't like a dying breath type conversation. It was, no, I'm speaking to a lifeless body right now. It was just a lot. It took a pretty big toll on me.
I just miss her presence. You know, I talk to my daughter every day. You know, I can't talk to her anymore. I think that's the thing that I miss the most is I can't just talk to her. We shared a birthday month every year. Now I have to celebrate without her. I can't even begin to tell you what all I miss. I miss her so much.
Gary robbed me of firstly, my relationship with my mother. Growing up, there was a lot of situations where I was just like, if only my mom was here, you know, I could ask her about this. He robbed me of my relationship with my sister. Like, oftentimes I find myself thinking, like, she would be 16 now. What would her life be like at this moment? What would she look like? Would she still be the same sweet and innocent little girl she was when she was younger? But really, most importantly, I feel like he robbed me of my childhood. When everything happened, a lot of people in my family were just like, you know, we need you to be strong for everybody else. And as a 12-year-old kid, I took that very seriously because I was one of those kids, if a grown-up told me something, I did it. And so when they were like, stop crying, you know, you gotta be the rock, you know, you gotta hold everybody else up. I took that and I carried it, and I've always carried it. I don't talk about, you know, my problems. I don't talk about my emotions. I keep everything bottled up because I always walk around feeling like I have to be strong for everybody else. I always find myself looking back like, man, had I actually got to live like a kid, I probably wouldn't be like this. And I feel like he created a lot of mental problems for me that I really never would have had he never came into our life. I suffer from really bad anxiety now. I go through really bad depressions. I really have anger management problems. I'm like a very short fuse. And I was never like that as a kid. I was always just really cool, just sit and observe type kid. But over the years, I've grown so much anger and so much like hatred in my heart for him that it just it's starting to boil over.
Jasmine was her personality was, she was very bright. It was like she never met strangers. She could be shy sometimes, but Jasmine was very, people, she just liked people. She loved giving hugs. She was just a very upbeat child.
Jasmine, oh my gosh, that was my best friend. We would not brush our teeth together unless we wasn't brushing our teeth together. Wake up, we brush our teeth together. Like, she has her own room, and me and my brother, we share the room. Sometimes she's the only girl, so she doesn't have nothing to do but play with her Barbie dolls and watch SpongeBob. So she would be like, Jared, can you come watch TV? Can you come watch TV with me? I'll say, yeah. She'll be like, can you come play Barbie with me? I'll say, yeah. Can you come play with me? I'll say, yeah. And our relationship was so strong, it was unbreakable. And if she was still here today, she'll probably be right next to me right now.
So the beautiful personality that Jasmine had. When Ray and I first started dating, she and my mom have the same birth date, October 3rd. So it was kind of like a sign. My mom passed away, so it was like a sign, okay, this is the guy, like, okay, you know. But to meet her, and then when I took her around the family, it was like she fit right in. I mean, she went around hugging everybody. I mean, just loving on everybody. Oh, you're so pretty. Hi, I'm Jasmine. Introducing herself like she was just this little lady. Like, she just really had a big energy. Very smart, really talented. And I think a lot of it, you know, her mom and dad did a great job. She has a video on YouTube of her reciting Langston Hughes' poem.
I too sing America. We are darker people. They send us to eat in the kitchen when company comes. But we laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow we'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody dares says to us eat in the kitchen. Besides, they'll see how beautiful we are and be ashamed. We too are America.
On September 22nd, 2009, my partner Mark Ahern and I were working evenings, and we got a call to Oak Cliff, part of Dallas, to respond to a homicide involving what appears to be a mother, at least one child, and we have other children that were at the hospital gravely injured. We arrived at the Armstead residence, and upon first going inside and kind of seeing what we're dealing with, it was sad. It breaks your heart. Mark and I immediately knew that based on the circumstances, based on what kind of crime we had, this was a potential death penalty case. A capital murder in the state of Texas, there are two options: life in prison without parole or death penalty.
So with the specifics of Jarrett, when you stabbed him, were you intending to kill him, or because he then begged for his life and then you didn't kill him?
I don't understand the question.
Were you intending to kill Jarrett too?
Yes, yes. All of us.
So,
myself included.
JT as well?
Yes, yes. It just so happened he was, you can, if you don't have a gun, you can only, one at a time. So that's all it was.
The master bedroom was the main crime scene, the master bedroom and the master bath. Walking into the master bedroom, Lovetta, she was lying on the floor, face up, in a very contorted position with multiple stab wounds. The master bathroom, at the doorway leading into the bathroom, there was blood all over the floor. There was blood on the counters, on the cabinetry, the toilet. The toilet tank lid was shattered on the floor. There are broken knives, broken blades. Laying alongside of the bathtub lay Jazz. She was bound with duct tape at the ankles and the wrists. She had also been bound with electrical cord pulled from some type of appliance that was plugged into the wall. And she lay on her side, dead on the floor by the bathtub. Clearly there were signs of a struggle. Lovetta did not go down without a fight. We believe she armed herself with the lid from the toilet tank to try to defend herself. She fought for her life and the life of her daughter. Unfortunately, Gary Green got the best of her that day.
Lovetta was stabbed lots of times, 27 times, and it happened over an hour and a half. So she fought for her life during that process.
Not necessarily. I mean, yes and no, but it was more of talking, starting, not yelling, not arguing, and on both our parts, trying to rationalize what got us to this point. Taking something that you love and reducing it to nothing. That's not no easy task. You're fighting against what you love. You fighting against the emotion of something that you really care about. And to do more harm than that takes a lot of energy.
My partner and I worked the case all through the night into the next morning, the next day. And while we had an arrest warrant for Gary Green and the entire police department was looking for him, to be honest with you, he spoke to his mother and they felt it was best to turn themselves in at one of our substations. And he did so, walked up to an officer sitting at a desk, said, "My name's Gary Green, you're looking for me."
And I did. Now he stabbed her right here. Stand where? I stabbed in the back or leg or something like that. Okay, like I'm Lovetta. Right. Okay. And then somehow she gets this knife out of this hand and put it on the left hand, and then she comes and do this and stab me twice right here. Let me see. Okay, you got bandages on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, how many times do you think you stabbed her? Are you talking like a couple times or a bunch of times or? Maybe about 30. About 30 times, you think? Yeah, not all at once. But...
Gary Green told me that Lovetta wrote him a letter basically explained to him that the marriage wasn't working out. And then he replied in a letter as well. It was during the reading of his letters by Lovetta that he walked into the bedroom with Jasmine tied up.
During that evening, Gary Green confessed to the murder. Lovetta was on the end of the bed, reading a letter that he had written to her, because there were blood prints on the letter. And he basically said that he was going to kill everybody. So that's what she was reading as the attack began. And he wrote, you asked to see the monster, so here's the monster you made. There'll be 5 lives taken today, me being the 5th. I pray that the Lord allows my soul to enter heaven.
She read that before she died. Who asked to see the monster? She asked him to leave so she wouldn't have to view the monster.
He pretty quickly told me why this happened. Lovetta wrote him a letter that, yes, they've been together for so long, they've been married a short time, and it really wasn't working. That upset Gary Green.
If you had to put your finger on one issue or one aspect or one reason why all this happened last night, what do you think what would that be? Betrayal.
During my interview with Gary Green, there were several questions that I wanted answered. One of them was Jasmine. Gary Green puts Jasmine tied up, bound on the bed, and then over about an hour and a half, according to Gary Green, he's attacking Lovetta. Well, Jasmine is seeing this happen. Then when her mom dies, Gary Green fills the bathtub up full of water, which Jasmine sees, and you know in her little mind, when he picked her up off that bed and carried her into the bathroom, little Jasmine knew what was fixing to happen. I mean, that's torture. Gary Green tortured Jasmine by binding her with duct tape and wires and making her watch what he did to her mother, and then slowly filling the bathtub up, carrying her little body to the tub and drowning her. He tortured her before she died. He's a monster, and there are many others like him out there in the world today, unfortunately. He told me that he had hoped that there's a place in heaven where they can all be together. There's no place in heaven for him. That's for Jasmine.
What could have possessed a grown man to put that much force onto a little girl? And then just the thought started rushing, like, how did he even get the tape on her? How much struggle did he go through to get the tape on her? How much struggle did he go through to drown her? Like, did she fight? Was she just, being pushed to the point to where she couldn't resist and she just had to accept what was going on? It was just a lot, and it was very overwhelming thinking about, her aspect of the story.
Got all these questions that need answers, man, my mind blown. 8 years down the line, and this is still what my mind owns. So answer me with honesty. You caused me all these problems, G, and I just need some closure, man. So firstly, let me start with these. When you killed my mama, did you hear the screams? When you drowned my sister, did you feel the ease? Did taking 2 lives ever make you queasy? Was taking 2 more gonna bring relief? When you said you loved her, did you really mean it? Did killing Jasmine really have a meaning? Did you join the family just to come between us? Were you stepfather or a father figure, bro? I'm bothered with you. It's not like I up and forgot my sister. In court, you couldn't look me in the eye, but I bet you ain't blink when your grown ass drowned her, did you? Man, I just can't get it out my system. You taught a little girl like she would've hit you, and she wouldn't hurt her fly. Now she up with the birds and I can't let this shit control my life, and I can't stand how a grown ass man like you can make a little girl black and blue. Man, that ain't cool. She has so much life to see, and I got cut short because of you, and I can't see why you chose this family. We was cool before you came along, but it's okay, cause we all stay strong, but hey, that's what happened when you add the arm.
Now, there's not a holiday to go by that I don't say, hey, let's go out to the grave, because I still want to feel like, this is what I would do if she was here. So it's still my way of showing, like, I think this year would be her Sweet 16. there's probably nothing that's gonna hold me back from her having a sweet 16 party just to commemorate her, you know. So I had a lot planned for her, a lot planned.
When you do things that you shouldn't do, but even if you feel if it's right, how do you deal with that? You know, how do you correct the wrong? And I ask myself, do I agree with the death penalty? No, I don't agree with it because it's too flawed. But how do you fix a problem with the fact that if you done wrong, broke the law, how do you fix that? I often ask myself that every day. Should I be free? I don't think so. I don't think that, man. That's not realistic. But should something be done? Yes. I don't know what. I mean, like I say, if I can die today, right now, as we speak, and if I can get a guarantee that they will be sitting here and they will have their life, I would do it without even thinking about it. If I can undo everything. But I can't. Every day I pray that I wish I could, but I can't, man.
I still have to figure out a way to deal with the guilt that I feel from not doing anything. And it's hard to talk with them, talk with Lovetta's mom, because I still feel like it's something that I could have did to at least report it to somebody, you know, at least report it to the police. This is what I just heard. This is what I just heard. This baby just showed me this. It just seems like I should have been able to do something, but I didn't do anything. And it's hard for me to have a conversation with any one of those three, from Marguerite to Jared to JT, knowing what I know and didn't do anything.
Part of this story is just kind of watching yourself and your surroundings and who you get involved with. Love isn't gonna hurt you. It's not going to try to suffocate you or, you know, control you or anything like that. Love is just love, and you'll know when it's love.
I would hope that any woman that's in a situation where she's being abused, that first off, that she would share it. If you're in that kind of a situation, get out. It's got to be somebody that can help you. You just got to reach out to get the help. And don't stop until you get it.
This story could help someone to let them know that life might take people. You might have losses in your family, but you still got to stay strong and you still got to continue to live life. And there's nothing you can do about the past. And to let people know that everything is gonna be okay.
You can never really get closure because you can never really get that person back, those loved ones back. Lovetta will never be here again. Jasmine will never be here again. So I have closure now, knowing that he's behind bars. Someone's daughter or granddaughter or child will never be attacked again. So that's typically my closure, you know, just knowing that he can't do this again. And, you know, and me expressing it and telling the story to other people is closure, you know, because other people are going through this. Hoping that, you know, someone will see this and be like, well, you know, I gotta get out before it's too late. You know, a lot of women are with a Gary Green right now.
But the 22nd of September is not when my life stopped. It changed forever, but it didn't stop. Gary Green once said, "You asked me to see the monster." So here I am. I am your monster, Gary. I represent what frightens you most. I represent everything you fear. I have chosen to live, whereas you have chosen to die.